Welcome back to the Ross Bolin podcast, presented by Bolin Media. I am him, here today with producer Kade Orris. Kade, let the kids hear your voice.
Hello, kids. Here's my voice.
Let me ask you something, young blood. What kind of targeted ads does Instagram serve to you? Like what ad, like when you're on the gram and you're just scrolling mindlessly, what are they trying to sell you? What do they think you want?
Usually is like a lot of clothes. I get some sunglasses and jewelry, like chains and stuff.
I used to get a lot of chains.
Yeah, I always get the, I don't know if you got the same one, Jackson.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
Yeah, I always get their stuff.
It's the best. Do you think they know, like the Jackson guys, do they know that they're gigantic douchebags? Or do they think it's legit cool? Like me and my, Jackson, it's funny you bring it up. Me and my high school group text, one of us got targeted by Jackson, and their ad is so ridiculously, unintentionally funny that he sent it to the rest of us, and then we all started getting Jackson ads. And this was like 3 years ago.
And that's the thing about the Instagram ads is like, you like mention a product once, you're going to get an ad for it like the next day on Instagram.
Right. It's the perfect example of like the technology is listening to us thing. I mean, it happens pretty constantly. Mm-hmm. Right. But so that's so funny to me that you're getting the ads for those chains.
Yeah. The
highest quality chains. It's fucking so stupid.
Yeah. But yeah, that's mostly it. I'll get Liquid IV sometimes too.
Yeah.
Just because, we talk about it.
Because we say it on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Remember, producer Kade is 10 years younger than me. All right. So we get slightly different age demographic ads served at us. And I almost never pay attention to Instagram ads, but I usually get the ones that they serve me are for like fitness apparel or baby toys or like a lot of Houston sports merch. Like I get a lot of Fanatics ads and stuff like that, like trying to sell me Astros gear and Rockets gear. Not so much Texans gear, probably because the phone can hear me talking shit about the Texans constantly. The occasional boner pill will get thrown in there.
Oh, is that when you start to see those? Is that 36?
Yeah,
the boner pill ads?
Somewhere around your mid-30s, okay. I think they just slot you in there. But the other day, they finally got me, Kade. Mark Zuckerberg finally got me when I had my guard down. You may have noticed the shirt I am wearing today.
I did notice it, yeah.
It is an absurdly aggressive Sauron shirt. And Sauron is, for those of you who are unaware or don't remember, he's the bad guy in Lord of the Rings. I'll hold it up for you here so you can see a little better on YouTube and on social media. But, I mean, it's very aggressive. It is the entire front and the entire back.
Isn't it the eye on the back?
Yeah, it has the eye of Sauron on the back.
Okay, because I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, but I have seen it. So they're the same person?
Yeah.
Okay.
The front, where you see this giant Sauron helmet,
yeah,
you only see that version of him in the first 10 minutes of the first Lord of the Rings movie.
Right.
For the remainder of that original trilogy, he is the eye, which you can see on the back there. But I was perusing Instagram the other night. I was a little high, and I scrolled past a post advertising this shirt, and I was like, oh, that is fucking sick. So I clicked on the shop now button, and the sick thing about it is that you can literally make a purchase in like under 2 minutes right there in the Instagram app. Like it just opens it up in the Instagram app. I hit, the pay with Apple Pay or whatever, checked out. It was done. I was out. And it was like, $30 or something. And it arrived, and I showed it to my wife, and she was like, I mean, yeah, it's cool, but why Sauron? And I hadn't really considered that. Like, I didn't even check to see if they had like a gnarly Gandalf or Frodo or Samwise shirt. I was just like, give me that Sauron shirt now. And now I feel kind of weird about it. Like, I walked to the gas station earlier, and I just felt like people were like looking at me like, Sauron, dude, really? It's sort of like wearing a shirt with a giant Satan design on the front and back. Like, that's kind of the equivalent, or more appropriately, like Darth Vader. It hadn't occurred to me that the shirt makes me look like I support evil, or I'm in some kind of a dark cult. This is the first time I've ever repped for a villain before.
I feel like you've had villain stuff before, though.
I don't know. I don't know if I have.
No, you don't really have any Funko Pops or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones is kind of like, all the characters are sort of
shitty,
muddy.
Yeah.
You're not really good or bad guys. Tony Soprano, same thing, kind of an anti-hero, but also just a generally shitty human being.
Yeah.
But that's like the closest I come. This is the first
worshiping Satan. Yeah.
I've ever repped for the dark side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in all fairness, he is a very badass villain. It's just...
Yeah, the shirt's tight, too.
It's a tight shirt.
Yeah.
It's just a tight shirt, but it also gives off a weird message that I'm not really sure. Like, I don't want to destroy the Shire, is my point. Like, I'm not anti-Hobbit. All right?
Yeah.
I really like the shirt, so... Has anything ever gotten you on social media? Have they ever sold you anything with an Instagram or a Twitter ad?
Yeah, so there's like this Ohio State hat that I saw on there that I really want. And I was thinking about purchasing it, but since my birthday is next week, I just asked my parents for it. So hopefully I get it. But then yesterday, you were mentioning like how the Instagram shop or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw this shirt I liked, but it was from Abercrombie and Fitch. So I was like, I don't really want to.
Dude. I've been getting hit with these Abercrombie ads too. They've completely rebranded and they're doing a ton of licensing and they have a lot of sick shit now, like badass t-shirts.
Well, like graphic tees and stuff?
Yeah, just like the most random stuff you could possibly, like I feel like they have like NFL shirts and shit, like all kinds of stuff. What was the one that you saw? Do you remember?
It was like a short sleeve button down shirt. I thought it looked nice. So I was like, I'm just going to take a picture of it and just like try to find a similar style because I don't want to give Mark Zuckerberg that satisfaction of me using his Instagram shop.
Yeah.
But I've never like been in that before. So when I clicked on it, it was like, yeah, you could literally just pay right there. And like, I don't know like the full process of it, but like it seemed like you could just do it there and like you'll get it instead of like having to go through Abercrombie and Fitch and doing all of it.
Right. No, they have low-key badass shit that they've got like, they do have NFL stuff. They've got like Final Four 1995, like a lot of like throwback type shit, like Miles Davis tees, WrestleMania, Dale Earnhardt.
I keep getting the Miles Davis one now.
Like badass Sports Illustrated, like they've got F1 shit. They low key Abercrombie and Fitch has rebounded well.
Are they making a return?
In some form or fashion. Because a lot of these T-shirts I would rock.
Should I start shopping at Abercrombie and Fitch?
I don't know.
I always get like the shitty like there's brands like Romwe and Sheen or whatever. They're like kind of like really shitty material, but they're cheap.
See, I feel like Abercrombie's got to be pretty high quality.
Yeah.
You know? What did you have an Abercrombie and Fitch phase?
I think mine was American Eagle.
American Eagle?
Yeah.
Because there was a point where Abercrombie and Fitch took over, like everybody was wearing this shit when I was in early high school.
Yeah.
And they were hot.
Yeah, I feel like the four like brands that like every teenager wears is like Hollister, Abercrombie and Fitch, American Eagle, and like Polo.
Yeah.
Those are like the four horsemen of the teenage years.
No, that's accurate. I got roasted off the face of the earth for having a pair of Hollister shorts at one point. I don't know why.
I just can't go to those brands anymore. Just bad memories.
I don't know. They might be back. That's the thing. Like for my age demographic, we're probably the one that spent the most money on Abercrombie and Fitch back when they were at their height, and now they're targeting us again with all these throwback T-shirts that I'm low key or high key very into.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that. Anyway, this is not Abercrombie though. Just to be clear, the Sauron shirt is not Abercrombie. I don't even know what brand.
I always get some like Marvel, DC, like graphic tee stuff or whatever. So I'm tempted, but I've never pulled the trigger on it. Well,
now that I've done it, it's serving me just nothing but the dorkiest shirts you could possibly imagine all day long. It's like the algorithm knows it has me, like right where it wants my T-shirt buying ass, and now I'm scared because it's like it's doing a good job. Is my point. I've never been on Instagram or any social media platform before and been like, holy shit, they actually know what I want. But it's happening now.
Yeah.
All I had to do was make one purchase, and they were like, "We've got him."
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you do it once, like even if you just like click on it, you don't buy anything. It's like, okay, we know what to serve this guy now, and they just flood you with like,
every third post. Yeah, it's nuts. Anyway, congratulations to Mark Zuckerberg. We got a brand new sponsor today, folks, so listen up because your face is going to want you to hear this. Today's episode is brought to you by Caldera Lab. Caldera Lab is here to save the day when it comes to saving your skin. If you're no longer seeing results from your current skincare routine or are simply looking to finally get into caring for your skin for the first time, Caldera Lab is here to help. Caldera Lab is all about high-performance men's skincare, which they achieve by combining pharmaceutical-grade science, nature's purest and most potent ingredients, and sustainable business practices. Caldera Labs products are backed by a leading clinical trial where 9 out of 10 men experienced healthier and visibly improved skin. Caldera Labs products can start producing visible skin improvements in as little as 7 days, with results guaranteed within 60 days or your money back, so you have nothing to lose. Obviously love it when companies stand behind their products like Caldera Lab does, with money-back guarantees, because you have literally nothing to lose and many things to gain. Their flagship products are the Clean Slate Cleanser, Base Layer Moisturizer, Icon Eye Serum, and the star of the show, the Good Serum, which contains 27 active botanicals and is dermatologist vetted. I've been using Caldera Lab for a couple of weeks now, and my face is clear and shining, and I think you'll agree I look several years younger than I actually am as a result. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm fucking glowing. The best part, for being an RBP listener, Caldera Lab has given me a special offer just for you, our listeners. Get 20% off at calderalab.com/RBP with code RBP. And if you're not ready to purchase but are interested in learning more about what Caldera Lab can do for your skin, still head to calderalab.com/RBP, where there are plenty more details about Caldera Lab's amazing products. That's 20% off at CALDERALAB, calderalab.com/RBP. Use code RBP. So, unless you have been living under a rock, you've heard about the number one story in the world right now. It's not President Biden's son, Hunter, cutting a plea deal on tax and gun charges, or former President Trump being indicted yet again, or the war in Ukraine, or the Saudis buying our most historically racist and sexist sport. No. It's these 5 people missing inside an incredibly bootleg submersible vessel that was supposed to take them to explore the Titanic shipwreck. Kate, I'm assuming
I've seen this.
You have heard.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me say up front that we as a society are truly sick for the amount of jokes we are getting off at the expense of 5 people who are likely never again going to see the light of day as the odds of rescue dwindle with every passing hour. They've been down there for 4 days now. So it is not looking good, okay? And as I said on Twitter, imagine slowly suffocating at the bottom of the ocean while social media roasts the living shit out of you. If you're not on Twitter, you may not have seen as many of the memes, because usually shit like this starts on Twitter and within a few days it starts to make its way to Instagram and whatnot, but I know there are a lot of TikToks about it already as well. These people had something like just over 90 hours worth of oxygen. In fact, I think it was 96 hours of oxygen when this thing started, and that's at best. At best. So everyone breathing as little as possible. That's the maximum amount that they could have gotten. Well, 4 full 24-hour days, for those of you with calculators handy, that's 96 hours right there. So they're bumping up against it literally as I speak. And I really, really hope they are found safe and sound. That being said, there are many reasons why so many people are finding humor in this otherwise brutal and extremely dark situation. For one, this thing is filled with rich people who paid $250,000 a pop to go down and see the Titanic. Okay, that's $250,000, $250K, to get in this thing for 1 day and go see the Titanic. All right,
I'm just that right there is why do you care to go see the Titanic shipwreck?
99% of humans can't imagine spending anywhere close to that kind of dough to get into a bootleg submarine when they've seen the movie Titanic already. Most people are out here just trying to afford a house eventually so they can owe the bank hundreds of thousands of dollars for the rest of their lives, not drop $250,000 so they can explore an underwater graveyard, essentially. I cannot wrap my head around dropping that much money to go see the fucking Titanic. There is a literal movie that does this for you. James Cameron did this shit so that you wouldn't have to. Leonardo DiCaprio died so that you wouldn't have to. Jack, there are countless documentaries about the Titanic that should give you all the visuals and shit you could possibly need. So just from a financial standpoint, if I'm going to spend $250K on an experience, it is definitely not this. But the thing contributing even more to the highly inappropriate comedic content surrounding this disaster, though, is the actual vessel itself. You may have noticed, I keep referring to the submersible as bootleg. Well, that, Kade, is because this thing is extremely bootleg. Like, have you seen it?
Yeah.
You've seen the inside
of it? Yeah.
Okay, it's not a submarine.
No.
It's not a submarine. It's a minivan-sized metal tube with no seats, with one toilet, designed to hold 5 people for 1 day of underwater adventure. It's set up to where you get 2 hours down, then several hours exploring the Titanic like a weirdo, and then 2 hours back up to the surface, okay? Why are there no fucking chairs? Why are there no chairs?
Don't they have to sit crisscross applesauce?
Yes.
I've seen, yeah.
Why are there no chairs, though? Why are there no seats?
Make it a little more comfortable.
Why? Yeah. God.
So they're supposed to be there for, what, 4 hours?
2 hours down, 2 hours back up, plus it sounds like several hours exploring. So, like, it's a full day expedition.
Okay.
Right? But this thing, this tube of death, has one way in, one way out, which is bolted shut from the outside. Cannot be opened from the inside. Not that it would do you any good once you're down there. If you open it, you're all going to die. The pressure, if you know anything about the ocean, the further down you go, the more pressure is put on your body. It gets extremely dangerous at some point. If they open the door and try to get out, they would all just combust, I think. It's not a thing they can do. But the point is, they can't even get out if they wanted to. And they literally recommend that the passengers restrict their diet before and during the dive, quote, to reduce the likelihood that you will need to use the facilities. So again, there's one seat, and it is a toilet, a tiny bootleg toilet that they're telling you beforehand, like, don't like eat a whole bunch right before. Don't get a bunch of Taco Bell.
Don't drop a massive mud pie.
Because you don't want to be dropping a mud pie in front of everybody. Like, you know how awkward that can be. That's not what you want at all. So you go in hungry, most likely. Like the webpage, which is no longer available, says the toilet, quote, doubles as the best seat in the house, end quote, and adds that when the toilet is being used, they install a privacy curtain and, quote, turn the music up loud.
Just in case you're really getting asked.
So that no one has to hear your bowel movement, because it's literally, I mean, you're sitting right there with all these people. They just put a little curtain around you.
Yeah, but and you could probably smell it too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's like for those of you who have ever been on
also, doesn't it just sit there? It's not going out.
You asking what the flushing system is like? No idea.
Probably don't have one.
I'm assuming it goes down into like some type of a porta potty type situation. You know what I mean? Where there's some kind of a container for all the poo poo and pee pee. But yeah, if you've ever been on like an airplane that there's not a restroom. Some planes, they have like one seat in the back that you like lift it up, and that can turn into a toilet under emergency circumstances. If it's like a little private plane or whatever, not a really nice one. But that's basically what we're dealing with here. And to make matters worse, last year, the founder of tour operator Ocean Gate Expeditions, which is the company, they did an interview with CBS and let the CBS team look and film the inside of one of their submersibles used to visit the Titanic's wreckage, which is exactly like the one these people are currently stuck on, right? It might even be the one the people are stuck on. I 1,000,000,000% guarantee you this dude regrets doing this interview now. If you haven't watched it, you have to. The dude is cracking jokes about how he bought pieces of the submersible from Camping World. Like he points at a handle on the ceiling. He's like, I bought that from Camping World. And look, the whole thing is operated with this one button. But there's one, here's the thing, maybe out of all the absurd things about this, maybe the most absurd to me is I was imagining this thing must have an incredible view, like windows on both sides or whatever. But
I don't think you can.
It's one fucking window. There's one tiny window like you would see on a spaceship. You know when you watch Apollo 13 and they look out at the Earth from outer space, and it's through that tiny, like, one circular window. That's it. There's one of those on the front that they can all share, I guess.
Gotta take turns, yeah.
And then there's, like, screens that you're watching it on. So it's literally the equivalent of just watching one of the documentaries that you could fucking find on Netflix or whatever. I don't know why you would pay $250,000 for that same experience. It's one tiny-ass window. Again, there are no chairs, no seats, other than the toilet, and the passengers sit cross-legged on the floor. They have to take their shoes off before entering. It's customary. And there's just one button to operate this thing. One button on the physical, actual vessel. And a screen on the wall. The rest of the vessel's operations are run on a handheld video game controller. It's like when the dude was putting it together, he was like, how can we make this as quirky as possible? Which is not what I want when I'm venturing 2.5 miles into the fucking depths of the ocean to explore a shipwreck at all.
Yeah, no, this setup is insane. But also, like, what video game controller are you using to pilot your submersive vehicle?
I probably feel most comfortable with a classic PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Perhaps even an Xbox 360. This is neither. It's like the generic one
Yeah.
when your N64 controller broke when you were a kid, so you went to the fucking GameStop or grocery store or whatever to buy one, and you buy the generic because it's a lot cheaper.
Right.
That's what this thing is running off of.
Yeah. No, it's it's wild to me. But I'd probably go with the Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah.
Or Bop It maybe.
Sure. Sure.
No, because we gotta keep it quirky
and simple.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. The waiver you sign before you're allowed to board this thing repeatedly mentions the risk of death. Like this, you could die. You're agreeing that you could die before you even get on this thing. So, like, let's just say, hypothetically, that I am loaded, just absolutely stupid rich, and my wife is obsessed with the Titanic. The movie changed her life. And she desperately wants to explore the wreckage, so we sign up for this shit. If and when we showed up and they showed me the vessel, I would immediately demand they give me back my $250,000 and fuck right off to hell. There is absolutely no way, 0.0% chance I would allow my family, any of my friends, anyone I care about, or my person on board this death trap. It legitimately is like a joke level of unsafe feeling. Like a prank show. It's like fucking Ashton Kutcher is going to pop out. We got you. This isn't the real submarine.
He has his own submarine. He just like pulls up to them.
That's what it feels like. It's so absurd. I just can't. I cannot imagine. And like, dude, there are a lot of bad ways to go. Plenty of options for shitty deaths. Dumb ways to die, right? This is up there. Like drowning in general sounds awful. This isn't even that. It's just sitting in a metal tube with 4 other people at the bottom of the ocean waiting for death to come as you slowly run out of oxygen breath by breath. It's horrifying. And that's one of the things that has people so, captivated by the story, I think, is that it's just unbelievable. And then the more you read about it, the more you look into it, the videos you watch, it becomes even more unbelievable because you're just like, wait, why? For why? What the fuck? What? How? Who? What? Who is insuring this company? The dude thinks it's funny that there's like jokey elements to the thing's fucking controls. I don't understand. So anyway, there are plenty of reasons these people are getting roasted. But I think the one that overrides all of the others is that there is a billionaire on board. Right? One of the 5 passengers is a billionaire, and then his, I think 19-year-old son. And, that has people geared up to not care about the human element, eat the rich and all that. But it's just an insane story. Absolutely not.
Did you see the stepson of one of the dudes?
Of the billionaire?
Yeah.
He went to a
Blink-182 concert.
Got to go to the Blink concert, bro.
Can't miss out on that.
No, so the billionaire that's on this thing, his stepson, posted on social media, and that's the thing. I don't even disagree with the decision because he Like, go to the show, whatever.
Yeah, what is he going to do?
But posting on social media was a mistake. But he put up a post that was like, headed to the Blink-182 concert tonight. I know it may seem a little like tacky or like not the move, but music really helps me take my mind off things.
Yeah.
And then he put up pictures of him like at the concert, like wearing a Blink-182 shirt with like the stage in the background and shit. And people are all on that dude's ass. A lot of step parenting and stepchild jokes being put into the internet as well as a result. I mean, it's a content firestorm.
Yeah, it's...
And this is like, this keeps... There are examples of this where like bad shit happens and then there's content that's created around it as a result because like you can't help yourself. But this is maybe the ultimate, like the one of the worst I've ever seen in terms of just like the jokes are so good. The memes are so good. There's too much material. We can't help ourselves. But yeah, I mean, these, 5 people are probably dead.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can never help ourselves when something like tragic happens. We make
sometimes. Remember that thing where like I think it was like the Chilean mine that collapsed or whatever, and all those people were stuck down there.
Oh, wasn't that years ago?
Yeah. But like Elon Musk called somebody it was like a soccer team. There was maybe I'm combining 2 different disasters, but there was like a soccer team trapped. And then Elon Musk called the coach a pedophile or something like that. And then he ended up sending a vessel to like help them or something. I don't know. I just remember it was a soccer team, Elon Musk. I'm Googling to try to remember. It was a Thai soccer team that was trapped in a cave, and Elon Musk lashed out at a British cave explorer who blasted his idea to use a submarine to rescue the trapped Thai soccer team.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was like in 2018. This is like,
Gotcha. The Chilean mine one was
a different deal.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
That was
But anyway, point is, I guess Elon couldn't help himself in that situation. But yeah, it's rough. It's rough. I've talked on the show before about like nobody wants to go in a way that other people can laugh about, and because you can't even help it. But frankly, if I'm one of the 5 people stuck on this thing right now, and somehow I got service for like a couple of minutes and could see on my phone, like I would get it. I feel like I would understand.
Yeah.
Especially when I look over at like the video game controller that's running the thing, and the lack of a seat under my ass.
Oh God, yeah. That your ass has to be so sore.
Oh, it's dude. Who even know? Like they're
probably taking turns on the toilet just to
get a little seat action.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, 4 days in, they're probably trying to figure out who to eat. That's the really sick.
That's the next move. Yeah.
I mean, one of my buddies joked like, surely day 2 or 3, the 19-year-old starts plotting ways to murder the older people to conserve oxygen. Like the more people you knock off.
If they like end up finding this thing and like
it's just the 19-year-old alive.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. The others died. He's like covered in blood. No, I mean, see, you can't help it. You can't help but think about like what the fuck. But if I'm the 19-year-old, I kill everyone else as quickly as possible. Seriously.
It gives you more oxygen. Yeah.
I guess the thing you would have to weigh is like, all right, it's day 2. I start knocking people off right now. Just turn this thing into a wrestling match to the death.
Got a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but what if they open it up like, or they I hear them like attach their fucking crane to us and pull us back up right after I commit the murders. It's like, I didn't have to do it. You know what I mean? You have to wait till the very last minute.
Commit those murders.
I didn't have to kill these people. But yeah, it sucks, man. But like, I think most of us can't, it's not just the price tag. Most of us can't imagine ever just even wanting to do this. It's like, it's so random. It's just so random and seemingly unnecessary. Like,
yeah, like you said, you can literally watch a documentary about it.
And then you could spend the fucking $250,000 on like, I don't know, the sickest rainforest exploration. Okay, have they done everything else there is to do before they pick this? They just run out of tight adventures to go on?
The ocean is the most terrifying thing out there.
It's up there.
And so, like, you want to spend all that money to do that. It's just never. Nope.
You fucking seen the planet Earth about the depths of the ocean? It's horrible. You can't. There's no light. It's pitch black down there, and there's freaky shit that no one has ever seen before. Like, what if they got eaten by a whale? I don't know.
Aren't orcas, like, doing some shit?
I think they're attacking sailboats and yachts, they're trying to take back the ocean.
Yeah.
This could be another phase of that. I don't know.
Part of their plan.
But yeah, there's so many other things I would do. A laundry list of things I would. This would be like the very last thing on my list of tight shit I could spend $250,000 on, and somehow 5 people ended up on it, and it is.
Was this the first time they've ever done this, or?
No, I don't think so. It sounds like they've done this many times. Like it's a regular occurrence that they send people down in this thing. So it just so happens. I mean, it'd be even worse if it was the maiden voyage. Like, first time they sent these people down with a fucking Nintendo controller hooked up to the thing as its only control. But, like, my wife was like, why is there not, like, a fucking rope attached to it? And I'm like, baby, it's 2.5 miles down.
Gonna need a long rope.
But then talking about it, I was like, well...
How can they not find them?
That's another one of the big... Because they lost contact. Like, as the thing was going down, at some point they lost contact. So there's this massive sprawling area where they could be. So they can't find them. And, like, the latest developments today, which is obviously it's getting down to, like, the 11th hour here. Like, people are like, oh, okay, we're now dealing with a dead body situation. They've got all these different vessels looking for these people. There's, like, all kinds of shit that they've like submarines, all kinds of crazy submersible vehicles.
They got James Cameron down there yet?
No, I don't think he's down there yet, but they're using, like, Elon Musk's internet company, what's it called? Like, the crazy one they use for Ukraine or whatever. It's satellite-based. They're throwing the phone book at this thing, trying to find these people. And so far, all they've come up with is, like, they heard a knocking noise, like, every half hour for a while. It's like, I mean, which is smart. Like, they're in there, like, dong, 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 dong. Then waiting a half hour, then like, dong, 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 which doesn't bode well for the people inside, frankly. It's like, I'd just be banging constantly. Why are they only doing it every half hour? It's probably because they're running out of strength. Or the 19-year-old killed everyone and it's just him left.
It's just him. He's the one banging.
He's like, I'll give it a go every half hour. But they heard these noises, but, like, they still haven't been able to find shit. And it's a literal disaster, but also a slightly humorous one for everyone who doesn't know anybody connected to anyone on board, which is most of us.
Yeah.
Most of the humans.
About 99% of us, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone gets found alive, safe and sound, and then sues the ever-living shit out of this. I don't care how much they signed their lives away, which they very clearly did when they agreed to get on this vessel. I would still hope that they could get something in court out of this disaster if they were alive, which they're probably not. Just because mathematically things are bad. And I'm not even good at math. So, yeah, that's what's going on. If you've heard about the submersible vehicle disaster and you didn't quite know what it was, I've just given you the gist of it. And if you're not on Twitter, if you're not a social media person, first of all, congratulations. Second, you're missing out on some incredible content, tragedy-based content, like the best tragedy-based content I have maybe ever seen. Today's episode is also brought to you by Manscaped. This is a public service announcement. Manscaped now has beard products and is going even further with their brand new Weed Whacker 2.0. So if you're a member of the bearded RVP gang, got you today. Go ahead and tell the world the leaders in below-the-waist grooming at Manscaped are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary grooming products. First of all, the new Weed Whacker 2.0 is incredible nose and ear hair trimmer, but also their new beard line confirms they have all the best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Manscaped has everything. They got shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, all the stuff you need for your dick and balls, plus your nose, your ear hair, and now your beard. It's time for you to upgrade your game by going to manscaped.com and using our code RBP for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. You may have noticed my facial hair looking less and less patchy and more professionally groomed than ever before over the last couple months, and that's thanks to Manscaped's new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It is the ultimate package that makes it easier than ever to craft your signature look. It all starts with the cordless electric beard hedger. It's tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single-stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. This waterproof cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting links with all through one guard. So, like, for a lot of you like me who have had other beard trimming accessories in the past with like 20 different guards, you don't need that. No more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. It's got everything you need. The Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care, which I love, including Manscaped's beard shampoo and conditioner. I'd never used anything like this before. It makes your beard hair feel so much nicer. Plus beard oil and beard balm to moisturize, style, and shimmer your new beard, making it look phenomenal. Plus the kit has 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors. With a nice beard on your face, you need all this stuff. You need it. Also, the brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with no tugging guaranteed. It has never been so painless to mind your manholes. And now that you have your face looking great, obviously, you must try Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 for the full body grooming experience to get your downstairs mix-up looking right and tight as well. Performance Package 4.0 comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0 now, and all of the other below-the-waist grooming products Manscaped is known for. Your significant other will be delighted to see you covering all your bases, if you know what I mean. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code RBP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use our code RBP. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. See, I bet you those people, when they signed up to get on that submersible vehicle to go down to see the Titanic, never imagined that they would be stuck at the bottom of the ocean where a bunch of podcasters discuss it and then do dick and ball grooming and
immediately after
beard ads right after. That's just, I don't think it's what they expected.
No, probably not.
Anyway, moving on. Every June here on the Ross Bolin podcast, we celebrate Chicken Leg Pride Month. Why June? It is too hot to wear pants anymore, so I can no longer hide my chicken legs from the public eye. And when I was a younger man, I had some self-esteem issues surrounding my legs that I have since vanquished through years of getting laid anyway. Also, June is Pride Month in general, as Target stockholders are well aware. But I wanted to create a movement that, for anyone else who may be struggling with self-image surrounding their chicken legs, could help lift others up and show them there is nothing to be ashamed of just because you have legs that resemble that of a stork or a flamingo. As a kid, I was often mocked for my lack of calf muscles. People called me a freak. They pointed and questioned whether or not I was malnourished. They doubted my athletic abilities, and it hurt. No one should have to feel ashamed of their bodies, though. No one, so I've worked since 2018 every June to bring the pride back to Chicken Leg Nation. We even sell shirts on bolinmedia.com/shop to commemorate Chicken Leg Pride Month, which you are legally obligated to purchase if you have chicken legs, and also legally obligated to purchase for anyone you know with chicken legs. So if you're listening right now and you're like, oh God, thank God I have these luscious thighs. Well, maybe you have a friend who's like me, lacks in calf muscles or thighs. Get them the shirt, bolinmedia.com/shop. Well, Kade, you don't know what this is like, so you don't really have anything to contribute to.
I was about to say,
segment.
I do have some juicy calves and thick thighs. So
solid man legs.
Yeah, I just hit legs today too, so they're looking really, really good. But I am an ally of the chicken legs.
No,
so
we appreciate that.
I am in support of you guys, and I actually didn't wear pants today. I have shorts on for the first time. In support. I had to show off the legs. Yeah. It's that time of year.
If you were really supporting Chicken Leg Nation, you would wear pants all summer so that we wouldn't feel the comparison.
Yeah,
you know?
Okay. So,
the fact that I can look at your legs right now and know that if I put two of my two legs together, that they wouldn't be as thick as one of yours, makes me feel small as a man.
So what I was doing before was right. It was wearing the joggers when it's 100 degrees out.
Yeah, sweat your dick and balls off.
Yeah. Exactly.
My little brother, Sam, he's 5 years younger than me. We have the same parents, same mom, same dad, same ingredients went into both of us, and yet somehow I popped out with disturbingly skinny chicken legs, and he has like the most sturdy man legs you could possibly imagine with giant calves.
He's got them thunder thighs.
You got my mom's legs, and I got my dad's legs. It's fucked up. The funny thing is, though, the chicken leg gene runs strongest on my mom's side of the family. Like, her two sisters both have absurd chicken legs. I have one of my aunt's exact legs. But
you have
yeah, exactly. We've compared them. We've stood next to each other, just been like, look at that. It's the same fucking thing. Just mine are hairy. But yeah, it's I don't know how that happened. It's like one of the more curious things about genetics to me. Like, how does my brother just get
And you're in the gym too, and it's like you just can't do anything about it.
I can do so. I'm making slow but steady progress. Okay, like I've been doing leg day legitimately every week for probably 2 straight years now. And like there's definition that's been added. Like when I sit on the couch, and you sit and your legs are pressed up or whatever. Like I look at my thighs and I'm like, all right, I'm added, a slight amount of bulk here.
Yeah.
But I'm still not even to like normal yet, like to what you would expect on a 6'2" man.
Yeah. No, when I get bored sometimes, like, and I'm not flexing my calf muscle, I'll just like slap it around. It's just like there's just so much there.
Yeah, I do that with other people's. I don't have
you can't do it to yourself.
I don't have the
slap other people's
privilege.
calves, yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously, I've spent a lot of time doing that in my life. It's kind of giving me weird deja vu just you even mentioning it. But
Wait, you actually did?
it's not even a joke. No. And additionally, there are many great chicken leg icons in the world. We have given props to many of them over the years on this show. I obviously consider myself to be one of them now, since I'm the founder of this movement. But we have a new member of Chicken Leg Nation that must be recognized, as he is about to be all over our TV screens for the NBA draft tomorrow. His name is Victor Wembanyama. And at 7'2". He has the most chicken legs perhaps you have ever seen. Ever. I feel like the taller you are, the more likely it is, but then that doesn't make sense because you're taller than me. Yeah, but I do feel like it ups the percentage.
Yeah, when you get like in that 7 foot range, I feel
it's
it's
ridiculous.
It's tough,
yeah, it's really like Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? He's got him too.
He always got him. Yeah,
severe chicken legitis for Kevin Durant. But I would say this is one. Here's an example of chicken leg discrimination. Victor Wembanyama, Wemby, that will be drafted by the San Antonio Spurs. In all likelihood, 99.9%. He's been walking around in shorts and some Drake Nike Noctas, which I'm not sure how that happened, but people have commented over the last couple of days like, Jesus Christ, this guy's legs have bust written all over them, because people are like, there's no way he stays healthy with those skinny ass legs. Like they're going to snap like a twig.
Yeah, skin and bone there.
Out there. Yeah. And frankly, I kind of understand the concern, just because like at some point physics becomes a piece of the equation. Like he's so fucking tall.
Yeah.
And he's going to be running around a basketball court with 9 other people on it, full speed, trying to dunk and shit.
Against, some of the best competition in the world.
Yeah, it does strike me as a valid concern, but, albeit a discriminatory one, because athletes with chicken legs deserve to be taken just as seriously. Some of the greatest athletes of all time have chicken legs. I already mentioned another one, Kevin Durant. Can't think of any more.
I was about to say, can you name some others?
But there's a lot of them, and they're out there. Anyway, good luck to Wemby, proud member of Chicken Leg Nation. It's a goddamn shame that he will be on the Spurs, but nonetheless, I support him as a member of my tribe. In other news, it has been too long, a long, long time since we had a Houston rap song of the week on this show. That changes today under unfortunate circumstances. Big Pokey, born Milton Powell, passed away this past Sunday after collapsing on stage during a performance in Beaumont, Texas, the day before Juneteenth. He was only 48 years old, was an original member of the Screwed Up Clique founded by DJ Screw, and he was a staple of Houston hip-hop culture who everyone, even casually invested in the scene, knew. So to honor Big Pokey and give you all a taste of his music, our Houston rap song of the week is Ball in Parlay. B-A-L-L space in apostrophe space P-A-R-L-A-Y. Ball in Parlay by Big Pokey. Classic Houston sound, classic Houston song, classic Houston legend who is no longer with us yet will be remembered forever. This is a guy that, like, when I grew up and fell in love with rap and got sucked into the Houston hip-hop scene, was near the top, like one of the biggest. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of the guys in the SUC, the Screwed Up Clique, that was like the Houston squad that DJ Screw put together. Everybody knew these dudes.
Who else was in that?
Oh, Lil Flip.
Okay.
He's probably the one that most people know nationally.
Yeah.
But like it
wasn't like Scarface or
Face wasn't in it.
Zero, none of those dudes.
Zero was in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Zero was in it. That was confusing because there's like guys who were original Screwed Up Clique, and they're real proud of that. Like they say it in their songs, like still to this day. And then there were Screwed Up Click affiliates, like people who were tight with them but not officially in the group.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. I listened to like Young Thug and like their label that's not really a label anymore.
Because it was a organized crime gang.
But those like they always say YSL, and like there's like 21 Savage. He's not a part of that, but he still says like he like reps them still. Yeah. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And there was I mean, pretty much anybody that everybody wanted to be in the Screwed Up Click at one point in Houston.
Yeah.
Like, and so there was people who they were like, nah, but like you can still rep and like hang with us and shit. But
yeah, they might give you a affiliate chain or something like that.
Right. No, I'm serious. Like there was levels to it. It was strange, but a lot of the guys are dead. Like a lot of the originals, from gun violence or overdosing on lean for the most part. It's several of those, but like you know, the Big Pokey was one of the few that was remaining and was like still like these guys were so big that like he was still living off of it. Like he hadn't put out like a hit record in 20 fucking years, but he was still doing shows, like still performing, still putting out like new albums. Like it just, you know, it wasn't the same as when he was back in his heyday or whatever, which is often the case with musicians, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at his Spotify right now. He's dropped some albums these past few years, so he's still going at it.
He was still doing it, but like his biggest album was in 1999. It was called Hardest Pit in the Litter, and that's the one that had the song that is our Houston Rap Song of the Week, Ball and Parlay. But also it had Who Dat Talking Down, which was another one of his biggest hits. And then the thing he's probably most well known for, like outside of Houston, was he was on DJ Screw's most famous record ever, which was called June 27th. It's a 36-minute long freestyle with like all these different rappers on it. And Big Pokey was one of the guys who had a verse on June 27th.
They just don't do that anymore, the 36-minute songs, do they?
Nah.
It's a damn shame.
No, nobody has time for that shit.
No, everything's under 2 minutes now. It sucks.
It is tight though, because like 6 days from now will be June 27th, and like it is like you could stop at a red light in Houston and roll your windows down, and somebody at that red light is playing the song. It's fucking wild. It gets celebrated like it's a legitimate holiday in Houston. Like it's like DJ Screw Day basically, but. Anyway, I was definitely bummed out to hear about Pokey. It was also one of those things where super awkwardly, it was a small venue he was performing at. So there's like all these people with their phones out like filming him. And he was on like what was sort of a raised platform. It wasn't so much a stage. Mm-hmm. And somebody was right next to him filming him. And he drops in the middle of the performance. Like you watch him, like the video, my point is this person then posted the video online. So everybody could go watch the last moments of his life, essentially, which is really super fucked up. And, of course, showed up right in my For You feed on Twitter. Like, I don't want to see this shit, but it was right there. I was like, oh, it's Big Pokey. What's up? Oh, fuck. He just drops like a stone, man. It was like, it's hot as shit. It was night. He's a heavy set dude. And sad, but also like just if you accidentally film some shit like this, like don't put it on the fucking internet, man. Especially when we have enough like tragedy content. We've got the submersible vessel, all right? We don't need Big Pokey passing out on stage and passing away, unfortunately. But yeah, great artist, a lot of good songs. If you're into Houston rap or any of that old school Houston rap vibe that DJ Screw brought to everybody, Big Pokey was a huge part of that. Had some great jams. Go check out today's Houston Rap Song of the Week, Ball and Parlay, probably my favorite Big Pokey song, and rest in peace to Big Pokey. Today's episode is also brought to you by Next Evo. Maintaining your wellness routines gets even more difficult during the summer. You got vacations, the kids aren't in school, it's hot as hell outside, and you're off your game as a result. Your day-to-day may look different during the summer, but your wellness can stay on track with help from CBD. Next Evo Naturals developed Smart Sorb technology, clinically proven to help your body absorb CBD 4 times better than regular CBD oil, because oil just doesn't mix with your water-based body. This CBD works faster, too. When you need to de-stress and sleep better this summer, reach for Next Evo products. When I'm stressed out, the place I feel the effects the most is when I'm sleeping at night. I sleep like crap when I'm stressed, which is why I absolutely love these Next Evo Triple Action CBD Sleep, which has been helping me wind down, get to sleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling refreshed without the grogginess that some of these other things have left me feeling. Kade has tried them out as well. They're phenomenal. Upgrade to the experts in CBD. A recent lab study found that most of the top CBD brands contain as little as 60% of what their labels claim. So you're not getting what you pay for. Next Evo tests their products multiple times to ensure you get 100% of what's on the label. They do their research as demonstrated by 4 clinical trials. No other CBD brand comes close. Stay well this summer with smarter CBD from Next Evo Naturals. Go to nextevo.com/RBP to get 20% off your first order of $40 or more. That's 20% off at NEXTEVO, nextevo.com/RBP. As a pro-furry podcast who has recently focused a lot on the pay of professional sports mascots, specifically the Denver Nuggets, Rocky, I feel obligated to also touch on what occurred with Miami Heat mascot Bernie during the NBA Finals. Kate, I know you saw this.
Oh, I definitely saw this video.
So first of all, if you're like, what is Bernie? Because I asked myself that question. He's an anthropomorphic fireball. For anyone who was wondering what Bernie, the Miami Heat mascot, is actually supposed to be. The story of what happened to Bernie during the NBA Finals is what we're here to discuss today. So the finals are obviously over. The Denver Nuggets won. Congratulations to Nuggets fans. First championship in franchise history. Nikola Jokic has become my favorite professional athlete as a result of this season of basketball and watching him do his post-game interviews and even his on-court interview right after the game. But it turns out at halftime of Game 4 in Miami, Bernie, their mascot, squared up against MMA superstar Conor McGregor. Okay, this is from sportingnews.com. It was a scripted skit for the former UFC featherweight and lightweight champion, Conor McGregor, to promote his line of pain relief spray. Okay? That's what this is for, okay? Pain relief spray. Bernie, the anthropomorphic fireball, was dressed up in a boxing robe and gloves. It says he was looking feisty, but he fell into an unexpected predicament when McGregor had packed just a little more power into his punch than the man under the big mascot head was expecting. So you see, like, the anthropomorphic fireball comes out dressed up like a boxer, and he's like dancing around like, let's go, Conor. Let's, you know, and you're like, as a fan, you're sitting in the stadium like, oh, yeah, sweet. Look, Bernie's going to fight McGregor. And then Conor knocked him out cold in one punch. Like, you could tell he really put his fucking back into it. Like, it was like,
were they supposed to like go for a little bit, or was it just like?
I think he was supposed to. It was supposed to be like a fake knockout. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like Bernie comes out, he's ready to fight, he's all boxing geared up, and then
But
McGregor
it's like
just
it's
drops
supposed to be like
him.
one hit.
I
Like,
think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you know, everybody laughs and they drag his lifeless corpse off. But it actually happened, though. Like, he actually accidentally knocked the dude out. And, I mean, I don't even want to say accidentally. He kind of looked like he meant to knock the dude out. It reminded me of at the end of Ace Ventura 1 when Jim Carrey beats the shit out of the Dolphins mascot. But, I mean, he laid into the dude, hits him once, Bernie drops, right? He's knocked out cold at center court on the first swing. His orange hair came flying off in the process. And then McGregor did what the UFC guys do. He hit him again. He gave him one when he's... So dude is really actually out cold in the fucking mascot head. And then he gets hit again. Which is just... I mean, he ended up in the hospital. They had to take Bernie, the anthropomorphic fireball, to the hospital.
That pain relief spray on him?
I don't know. I don't feel like this went the way McGregor wanted it to.
Oh, no, this day did not go.
No, because Conor McGregor also has been accused of sexually assaulting a woman at the very same NBA Finals game on the very same day, I believe at halftime, if I'm not mistaken, which is obviously a very serious allegation, and he already looked like a piece of shit for knocking out the fucking mascot, and then that. So it's bad day for McGregor, and potentially a much worse day for the woman that is accusing him of sexual assault. Not a Conor McGregor guy. Don't really like him.
Yeah.
Like him infinitely less as a result of all this. And we'll see what pans out in terms of the legal process with those accusations. But yeah, allegedly sexually assaulted a woman in a bathroom, and like there were like security at the door to make sure she like nobody could leave or enter this restroom. And she alleges that the NBA offered her $100,000 to stay quiet about what happened, like to basically drop the accusation. And then when the news came out, they rescinded the offer because she like talked about it publicly.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of legality around it for the NBA, for the Miami Heat, because it was in their stadium, and obviously for Conor McGregor, who I would say is an asshole.
Just a little bit.
Just
yeah.
in general. This aside, he was already an asshole. So if you're asking yourself, well, does Bernie, the anthropomorphic fireball, make as much money as Rocky, the Denver Nuggets mascot, who's pulling in over $600K a year? The Miami Heat mascot has a salary of $60,000 a year. So it's the league-wide average salary of a mascot. It's
still not terrible.
No, it's not terrible, but it's 10x under what Rocky makes.
Hopefully he's negotiating for a pay raise after
getting knocked
this
the fuck
season.
out by a UFC fighter. I would hope so. I would really hope so. So, thoughts and prayers to Bernie as he recovers from what had to have been a very embarrassing incident as well.
But that's the thing, like no one, like it's embarrassing for Bernie, but we don't know the person under, so like that's he's just chilling.
Yeah. Bernie's image is the one that takes a real knock.
He might like show up to like see his friends one day, like has a black eye or something. Like, how'd you get that?
Are you Bernie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, as our final segment of the episode, we're giving you a teaser from our most recent Patreon exclusive podcast in hopes that you'll subscribe and support our show. We need as many listeners as possible on patreon.com/Ross Bolin podcast, where every week we put out an ad-free exclusive episode just for our supporters there. Every week we release a public podcast like the one you're listening to right now, and then we release an exclusive ad-free episode later in the week only on Patreon for our fans who support the show with a monthly pledge in exchange for more RBP. We almost always take hotline calls from our listeners and respond to their questions, trash or not trash scenarios, and stories on Patreon. It's as little as $5 a month on patreon.com/Ross Bolin podcast, and you get twice as many episodes each week. Think about that. Double the amount of RBP each week if you sign up on Patreon and support our show. Last week's Patreon exclusive episode was another fun one, so we wanted to give you a little taste of what you are missing in hopes that you'll subscribe on patreon.com/Ross Bolin podcast for the full thing. Here is your preview. Enjoy. You go to LA Fitness, I go to my garage.
Yeah.
And working out in the garage, when it's 100 degrees outside, it turns out is a lot harder than it was like a few months ago.
Yeah, no, I got the cool air conditioning in my LA Fitness. I usually wear sweatpants and like a sweatshirt to the gym.
Yeah, this is a thing people need to understand about you.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's like something is wrong with you from a like summer attire standpoint. Like I'll come into the Bolin Media House and Kade is working at his desk, and it's 100 degrees outside. Like legitimately, it's supposed to be triple digits for the next several days in a row, right? But all week it's been heating up to the point of like it's pretty uncomfortable. I come in here. Kade's got the thermostat set at 76, which is not, I'm not saying that's like terrible, but it is a little bit on the toasty side when it's this hot outside. And he's at his desk in fucking sweatpants and a full-blown hoodie. And it's not like just the hoodie, like the hood hanging on his back. No, it's like on his head.
I'm wearing the hood.
He's wearing what I wear in the winter in the middle of summer. And I think it's like, I think it's an Indiana thing. I think it's because you're from an area where
I just like to be cozy, you know?
But it gets not. You're sweating bullets.
But to talk about the thermostat, I definitely turned it down because I was like, okay, it is really hot in here, and then I saw it was 76, so I turned it down. Apparently, you didn't do that because then you came in and turned it down. Yeah. That's when you called me out for it. I was like, I could have sworn I just turned it down.
I think it was on like the energy saver setting where it automatically goes to like 76 to conserve energy during the hottest periods of the day. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't, like, most people, because it's what is that called? The Nest thermostat. Most people have that set up to where, like, when they're at work and it's 3 p.m., like, they're not at home, so the thermostat goes up to save energy and the house doesn't need to be as cool when they're not there. We're in this house working, so I just need to like turn off that setting. But it doesn't change the fact that you're dressed for fucking 50 degrees
it's
100. It's double that.
Okay, but it's not 100 in here.
No, it's not 100. But even now, you're like, it gets hot as shit in the studio when we're in here with the lights on, and you're wearing a fucking long sleeve hoodie. Fucking what is it called? Dry tech.
And I got sweatpants on. Yeah.
Yeah, you're psycho, dude.
I know. It's okay.
Like I'm wearing cargo shorts, man, and a t-shirt. I don't even have shoes on. I've got sandals basically. So it's like.
But yeah, no, I'll always wear sweatpants and a hoodie. I do not care. Like if I'm like,
no, I can tell because when you first moved here, I was like, he'll get the hang of it. It's been like a year and a half. You've been through a summer already. This is your second one, and you still don't give a shit. You're dressed like it's cold outside.
It's just because like I'm gonna be outside for 30 seconds when I go to the gym. So and it's in the morning, so it's not as hot.
Like, do people at the gym look at you like you're insane?
I don't know. Maybe
you don't give a shit.
I don't.
You
care.
just don't care. That's good. That's a good trait. It's just I could. Let me put it this way. I couldn't live like you live in the summer. I couldn't do it. It's
if
hot.
I'm gonna be like outside for a long period of time, I'm definitely throwing on like a short sleeve shirt. Sometimes I'll still do jeans.
It's fucking madness, dude. It's mad. Like almost like 80% of why I'm in this line of work is so that I don't have to wear pants when I don't want to. And for whatever reason, I don't even know if I've ever seen you wear shorts. Like ever.
Probably not. You've never seen my legs.
I don't think I have. Do you wear pants to your flag football games?
No, I wear shorts, but I have like leg sleeves.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like the compression pants or whatever.
Yeah.
So
leg sleeves.
I don't know what you're supposed to call them.
I don't know. Like they're just like tights.
Yeah, tights.
Yeah, but like for
athletes,
athlete sports or whatever, like Kobe used to wear.
Exactly.
I feel like he normalized those. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just like
he
showed
started
up.
The wave.
He showed up one season in Peter Pan tights, and everyone was like, "Oh, I didn't know we could do that."
Yeah. And I talked about it briefly on the ad base show that had a game, our final game of the season, and we got smacked. But I want to talk about one of the players on their team because
on the other team,
because he like we were just talking about, like I like to wear my tights or whatever. This dude was decked out in gear. Like if you play 2K, then like as a my player, you spend all your VC on gear at the start, and that's exactly what this dude did. Like he looked like a my player that just wanted to be decked out in all of his cool Jordan gear. Yeah. And he looked like such a tool. He like cut his shirt in half.
Oh yeah.
So he had the midriff going too. We had like a Jordan headband. I was like, this guy's the biggest tool I've ever seen.
That's the fucking worst.
Like
this is a grown man, by the way.
Yeah, playing intramural flag football.
Right. It'd be different if it was like a 13-year-old at Little League, but this is a grown man at an intramural flag football game.
And it's like, taking it a little too far there. You're not a D1 athlete. You're not in the NFL. You don't need to be rocking all that gear. I get, you look good, you feel good, you play good, but
you don't even look good if you're overdoing it. You look like a jackass.
Exactly.
You said this is the dude that was chirping at you too?
It wasn't chirp. Well,
not specifically at you, maybe.
Yeah, but just in general, and he was so terrible.
Funny story. When I was in Little League, the first time I ever met Barrett Dudley, who is my co-host on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, was in Little League. And my dad was coaching, and his dad was like assistant coaching. And Barrett showed up to like the first game in like brand new like Griffey cleats, Nikes, double Nike fucking, what are the batting gloves, brand new glove, like eye black. Like he was this dude. He was the dude you're describing.
Yeah.
And granted, he was 12, 13 years old. So it was Little League. It's completely different.
You want to look like the pros. Yeah, that's what the pros do.
A completely different level of douchebaggery when you're a little kid. It doesn't quite qualify as douchebaggery yet. It's just like silliness. Mm-hmm. But I just remember being like, this fucking guy is kidded to the nines. Like he could not have had more shit on him. He was full Carl Havoc to the point that he was like, I expected he would just be like, here's my point. If you're gonna show up looking like that, you better be damn good.
Exactly.
Damn good. And Barrett was mostly good at getting plunked. Like he got pegged, and I don't mean Damn, that phrase has been changed up quite a bit since I was a little kid, bro. But like when it comes to baseball, getting pegged is getting hit with the ball. When you're batting and the pitcher hits you with the ball, and as such, you're allowed to go to first base. But pegging means something entirely different now. But he got famously. I don't know if Barrett would have a problem with me telling this story, but it's Patreon, so whatever. There was this one dude in our league, and his name was Robbie, and he was like. He's one of those kids who hit puberty super early. Oh, yeah. And he was like 6 feet tall while the rest of us were still little kids. So he was just a grown fucking man out there on the field. It was completely unfair. But he pitched, and he was terrifying because he could throw a lot harder than most people, and he was gigantic. So he'd be up there on the mound. And Barrett, in one game, he got pegged by this dude. Pause. 3 times. And then he quit baseball as a result. He was like, "That's it, I'm fucking out." Yeah. He was like, "That's it, I can't do this shit."
What did he do
anymore.
with all of his gear?
That's a good question. He's probably got it hung up somewhere. But yeah, he's always my go-to example of like this happens in golf too. Like you'll go out to the golf course with one other person, and historically at public golf courses, it's a foursome that you play with. So you get paired up with 2 other people, and like oftentimes. I'd say golf is the worst with this. You'll end up playing with somebody who's got like the newest clubs, like a $4,000 brand new set of clubs, sick golf cleats, brand new glove, nasty like all their polo, their hat, their fucking shorts, all of it's like super nice, super new, like the flyest shit you would want if you were really, really good at golf, and then they suck fucking ass. And you're like, why are you spending all this money on all this shit? You got too much shit on you and you're bad. It doesn't make sense. Like just it's a weird thing with golf. Golf is a strange sport, bro, where it's like half of the fun is just buying random golf shit. Like
yeah, that's what gets you high because you're not really doing too much on the golf course.
Exactly. You need something to get you excited about going out there and dropping $90 on a round of golf. And that thing that gets you excited is going to the golf store and spending $400 or $5,000 on new shit. It's weird.
Yeah. See, I haven't bought any new stuff for like football. Like I'm still wearing cleats from high school, my senior year. I still have my tights that had like holes in them, and then I had to buy some new gloves because if you're a receiver, then you know that like your gloves get really smelly. I guess, or if you just wear gloves in general for football.
I guess like the stickiness, the adhesiveness probably wears off too, right? Like eventually, not really.
Or, I don't know. Maybe I just have really good hands, so I don't know.
You don't even need that.
But no, like my hands smell like terrible after.
It's mostly a smell thing.
Yeah, because of the sweat and all that.
You can't just fucking wash them.
Well, I do wash them, but it doesn't really help after a while. Like it's just kind of
just lives in there.
Yeah,
it just becomes a part of the gloves.
Yeah,
gross, dude.
So yeah.
Anyway, I don't even know how we got onto this. Oh, it's your fucking idiotic summer attire. Well, if Kade drops dead one day from a heat stroke, it's not my fault. I tried to tell him, like, repeatedly, in every way possible. This being kind of like my last and final attempt at an intervention here publicly on the show. Like, this guy is just not dressing properly for summer.
Hey, Ross, Kade, this is Marshall from Vancouver, and I just gotta let you guys know how blown away I just was. I'm at the golf course, and I go to the urinal. An old man comes beside me, and he pulls his dick out from under his shorts. He pulls his short leg up and pulls his dick out to pee through his short leg. And I've never been more emasculated in my life. And this old man's probably got balls hanging down to his knees. I'm so impressed, and I don't know if that's something I could ever do comfortably. So I just want to let you guys know that I was blown away. Cheers. Gang, gang, gang.
You ever seen this before, Kade?
Not someone pull their dick out from under their shorts, but no, if you go to the gym, you usually see like old guys just like butt ass naked in the locker room. That's what I'm more like used to seeing. I guess not. I'm not used to it. It's never.
No, I understand what you're saying. That is, for some reason, locker room culture. That's a part of being an old guy in a locker room.
Yeah,
like you're just so old you no longer give a fuck. Because it's what Kade is talking about. It's not like some like incredibly sculpted old man just standing there naked like a Greek god or something. Like that is not what you end up with. It's like saggy, disgusting older dudes who have nothing left
Yeah.
And this few minutes of awkwardness they can create in the locker room where they're just ass naked for seemingly no reason is a big part of their life. I remember my mom growing up, to transition, my mom worked at the gym at our church. So like our church, we went to this mega church in Houston, right? And part of the church was a gym. Like they had a gym for the church, right? It was called the Family Life Center. I don't know why the fuck they named it that in hindsight, but it was the gym. And there was racquetball courts and they had aerobics classes and my mom would teach aerobics and shit. Point is, a lot of the time, like after school or whatever, like I would end up at the Family Life Center, like either fucking around with a racquetball or basketball court, or like she had another friend that also did personal training with her, and she had a kid, and me and that kid were good friends. His name was Nate, and so we would run around and like get into hijinks and whatnot. But at some point, I got a little older, and I remember like I would go to the men's locker room to use the restroom. And when I would go in there, there'd always be like 4 60-plus-year-old men just ass naked, just like standing there. And this
Just having some locker room talk.
This is before cell phones, bro. So like, if I see an old man naked in the locker room now, I'm assuming he's on his Instagram or whatever, like looking at shit, and he's just like spaced out. And this was just like for fucking no reason. Like there wasn't even an excuse. It was like hang drying or something. Just like rather than towel off, I'll just awkwardly post up here, butt ass, with my saggy balls.
And then they just have normal conversations. With,
like it's not weird, which is fine. I guess it's just a weird cultural thing that old naked dudes are in men's locker rooms. If you ever go into a men's locker room, you got to know there's probably an old naked dude in there.
Yeah. So is that just something like it just clicks one day when you're older? You're like, I just do not care. Like the first time you're like, know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna be saggy ass out.
It's one of the most interesting things about life to me is the eras you go through as a human being. Because like when I was a little kid, I used to look at men about my age now. You know, when I was 10 years old, and I'd see like a 36-year-old dad like come through, not the locker room, just in life.
Yeah.
Like at the baseball field, let's say. They always seemed so beaten down and quiet. Like they had nothing left to contribute to the world, and they just wanted to die. That's what it generally. That was the vibe I got often, and I always wondered, like, what's with that? Why are all these older dudes so unhappy, seemingly? Like, what the fuck is going on with these guys? They got no energy left.
And
What's
then you
happening?
turn 36, you're like, oh, now I get it.
Exactly. Then you realize, like, whoa, fuck, they've got kids for one, so they're miserably tired all of the time. They have no spare energy to dole out on your fucking disposition. Like, they're not going to just be smiling and laughing and telling jokes, and because they don't have any extra in the tank for that. They got to save it to take care of these fucking kids and go to work and make food and make money so that they can buy food and all the other shit. So I've come to understand that part of it where I'm like, oh, now I see why all these dudes, I was judging them, but really I should have just been leaving them alone because they were just doing the best they could. Now I'm 36. I get it. But I want to know what it is that happens between 36 and 56 that gets you to go, fuck it, I'm not putting clothes on. I'm just going to stand here and make everybody look at my dick and balls as if that was some kind of like I'm art in a museum.
A sense of pride
Yeah, it's bizarre. Never understood that. Anyway, I have run up against this whole pulling your dick through your shorts instead of like, because I've always been just to get specific.
You're going over.
I'm a pull the shorts down, take the dick out guy. If there's not a zipper, right? Like I've never been a pull the leg up, get the dick through, because that's less comfortable. It just is. Like no matter how long your hog is, it's not comfortable. It's like getting mashed in there. But I've seen this, and I think it's mostly like when I was like at same situation, like locker rooms and shit. You know where I've seen it? Fucking sporting events, in like a professional, like an NFL game,
where like they don't have like
just stall. I'm sorry, urinal.
But they don't have like the divider.
No dividers back in the day, bro. Especially when I was a kid, there were no fucking dividers. Nobody cared about privacy. Just took your
Everyone's
dick out.
just looking at each other's dicks.
Looking at dicks. People were little boy peeing up at the urinal, bro. Where you pull your shorts all the way down to your knees and just piss like that, like. So I've seen this shit. I don't know why. It's another one of those things that's like, it's definitely an age thing. Like there's nobody below 35 pulling their dick through their shorts like that because that's psychotic. It's like serial killer behavior. Yeah. So, Yeah, I don't have an answer for you. I know it's intimidating when you see it happen, though. You're like, what the fuck? But this is why I've talked about it on the show before. I don't like the urinal, man. I don't like how everybody's playing by a different set of rules. Everybody's doing different shit, pulling their dicks out through the wrong holes in their pants. Like, that shit, it bothers me. I don't like it. There's not enough. Even with these dividers these days. They're insufficient. They're insufficient for privacy. So I've always been a stall boy. And so I always bump up against this when I go to like an Astros game and it's like the 7th inning stretch. And I don't do this anymore because I'm not stupid. But like when I used to go, to Texans games or Astros games, and I would go to the restroom at halftime, which is when every single person goes to the restroom. And then you get into this awkward standoff because you're in line with everybody else. 90% of these people are waiting for a urinal. But when you get to the front and a urinal opens up, but you're not going to use the urinal because you're waiting for a stall, you have to start waving people through and suddenly you're a fucking traffic director. And that's the life I've chosen, though. It's worth it to wait for the shit-smelled stall.
This usually happens at the bar, but they're waiting to use the stall to do blow.
Oh, yeah.
That's usually if you see someone at the bar like, hey, you can use the urinal, they're definitely going to go and do blow.
They're going to do drugs, yeah. Man. Bar life, I miss the interactions that would take place. We talked about this recently, so we don't have to get back into it. Anyway, thank you, Vancouver, for the dick talk. I have been thinking we haven't been talking about penis enough on this show lately, so I'm glad we got into that. Old man dicks and the way people pull their dicks out at the restroom. Thank you.
Good stuff.
All right, that is it for the free preview, but go to patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast now to hear the entire episode and immediately gain access to our entire backlog of premium ad-free exclusive episodes of RBP available only on Patreon. There are over 100 exclusive episodes on there at this point, I'm pretty sure. It's a lot. Years worth of premium ad-free episodes on Patreon, patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast. For as little as $5 a month. So go sign up now, support the show, and that will do it for today's episode. But please support our sponsors by hitting the links in the description of this episode and using our dedicated codes. Other than Patreon, this is the other way we pay the bills here at Bolin Media. You can find links to our sponsors for today's episode in the description below. To check out our other shows, go to bolinmedia.com. We've got J-Bone, Jared Borslow's F1 show, Formula Bone, obviously previewing and recapping every single race this F1 season on youtube.com/@FormulaBone. Follow his social media @FormulaBone on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. We've got Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, who recently wrapped up Succession's final season, coverage of Succession's final season, hosted by myself with my friend of over 20 years, Mr. Barrett Dudley, where now we are covering season 1 of Silo on Apple TV+. If you watched or are watching Silo, great little sci-fi show on Apple TV+. We are covering it on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, which you can find wherever you listen to RBP. Go to bolinmedia.com/shop to grab yourself some RBP merch. We do not sell this giant Sauron t-shirt. I just want to be clear about that. You can't find this there. You got to peruse Instagram and whisper Sauron into your phone enough to get access to it. But we do have Horny for Sunsets merch. We've got, of course, Chicken Leg Pride t-shirts. We've got Year of the Dog tees, RBP hats, coffee mugs, You Are Not Alone stuff. We've got Stat Good Days, baby onesies, and mouse pads, all kinds of shit at bolinmedia.com/shop.
Got Jared and Ross puzzle, if you really...
Yeah, if you want to do a puzzle of me and J-Bone, for some reason that exists. Nobody really knows why or how. I think my wife put it on there. I still don't understand how she made it, but we have a puzzle. We need to get a Ross and Kade puzzle next on bolinmedia.com/shop. Follow me, Ross Bolin, on Twitter and Instagram @WRBolin. Kade, Orris, where can the kids follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me @Kade Orris on all the socials, and that's KADEORRIS.
Lovely. This episode of RBP is presented by Bolin Media, and video of today's show was produced by Kade Orris. Go to youtube.com/@TheRossBolin Podcast and subscribe for full video of every public episode, plus funny clips. We will be back later this week on patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast with another ad-free exclusive episode just like we have every week. Until next time, peace be with you and also with you.